The world of BTS fans was once again excited by a confession that came honestly and without further ado from one of the members. In a casual conversation that then spread widely among ARMY, Park Jimin suddenly made a statement that surprised many people. With a half-joking tone but sounding very serious, he said that among all the members of the group, the person who is the smartest in managing money is Jungkook. That simple sentence may sound ordinary to some people, but for fans who have been following this group's journey for a long time, Jimin's confession feels like opening a new side of Jungkook's figure that has rarely been talked about. Over the years, the public has known Jungkook as Golden Magne, a nickname given because of his almost perfect ability in various fields. He can sing steadily, dance with extraordinary energy, even has talent in sports and art. But who would have thought, behind the spotlight of the magnificent stage and life as a world star, it turns out that Jungkook is also known among the members as a very careful figure in financial affairs. When Jimin revealed that, many fans immediately wondered, how is it possible that the youngest member in the group is considered the smartest in managing money? This story doesn't just appear. According to Jimin, Jungkook's habit of managing finances has actually been seen for a long time, even since the early days of their debut. At that time, the members were still living together in a simple dormitory. Their lives are far from luxurious. The tight training schedule, pressure from the agency, and an uncertain future make all members have to learn to survive in various ways. In such a situation, Jimin realizes that Jungkook has different habits compared to the others. If some members sometimes spend their money on small things as a form of entertainment after hard training, Jungkook actually saves it more often. He is known to rarely buy things that he does not really need. In fact, according to the story shared by Jimin, Jungkook often thinks long before spending money, as if every financial decision is something very important. For Jimin, it was quite surprising. After all, Jungkook is the youngest member. Logically, many people think that those who are more mature will be wiser in financial matters. But in reality, Jungkook is often the most cautious person in that matter. Jimin even once joked that if one day they needed advice about money, maybe Jungkook was the first person they should ask. Behind that habit, many fans believe that Jungkook's past has a big role in shaping his mindset. Jungkook started his career journey in the entertainment world when he was still very young. He left his hometown and moved to Seoul to pursue his dream with BTS. Since then, he has lived in a stressful environment, hard training, and fierce competition. This situation indirectly makes Jungkook learn to grow up faster than children his age. He understands that the opportunity he has does not come easily. Every step taken must be carefully thought out, including financial affairs. For Jungkook, money is not only a symbol of success, but also a responsibility. When BTS finally achieved global success, the lives of the members changed drastically. From a simple dormitory, they now have a luxurious house, an expensive car, and various facilities that they could only imagine before. But interestingly, according to Jimin's story, Jungkook's habits in managing money have not changed much. He is still known as a cautious person. Even when their income increases sharply, Jungkook still thinks about how to use his money wisely. He was never seen showing off his wealth excessively. On the contrary, many people feel that Jungkook is more focused on things that are really important to his life. Jimin himself once revealed that one of the reasons he admires Jungkook is his maturity. Although he often looks cheerful, playful, and full of energy like young people in general, behind all that Jungkook has a very mature way of thinking. He knows when to have fun, but also knows when to be serious. This makes the members often feel proud of him. For them, Jungkook is not only a talented magne, but also someone who can be relied on in many ways. Even in matters that are often considered trivial, such as managing money, Jungkook shows extraordinary discipline. Jimin's confession finally sparked a long discussion among fans. Many ARMY began to recall various old stories about Jungkook's habits. Some even said that a simple and careful attitude is what makes him more respected by the members. In the midst of the entertainment world that is often filled with stories about luxury and glamorous lifestyle, this story actually feels different. Jungkook shows that success does not always have to be accompanied by excessive attitude. Precisely with self-control and a wise mindset, someone can maintain that success to last longer. For Jimin, His confession may be just a spontaneous comment, but for the fans, that simple sentence opens a new picture of who Jungkook really is behind the stage. He is not only a global star with millions of fans, but also an individual who understands the meaning of responsibility from a young age. And maybe that's the reason why Jimin said that so confidently. Among all the talented and successful BTS members, Jungkook has one advantage that is often not seen by the public: the ability to stay on the ground, even when the world is under his feet. Park Jimin's honest statement about Jungkook's financial intelligence did not stop as a small story among the fans. The longer it is talked about, the more people start to look back at Jungkook's life journey with a different perspective. Many ARMY realize that the habit of managing money wisely is not something that appears suddenly, but is formed from a long and life journey full of sacrifices. When BTS was still in the early days of their debut, their life was far from the luxury that is now known to the public. They lived together in simple dorms, share rooms, share food, and even share the same dream: survive in the highly competitive music industry. In those times, each member learned to appreciate whatever they had. But according to Jimin's story, Jungkook has a slightly different way of dealing with the situation. He often looks calmer when talking about the future, while the other members sometimes only focus on practice and the next appearance. Jungkook secretly thinks about many bigger things. He is not only thinking about his career as an idol, but also how his life will go in the future. That made him start to see money not just a tool to meet current needs, but as something that must be maintained for a longer time. According to Jimin, one of Jungkook's habits that makes the members surprised the most is how he always thinks about the value of every expense. Even in casual situations, Jungkook often asks himself whether an item is really necessary or just a momentary desire. This attitude may sound simple, but in the entertainment world that is full of the temptation of a luxurious lifestyle, such a habit is actually very rare to find. Over time, when BTS began to gain international popularity, the lives of the members changed drastically. They began to perform on big stages, attend prestigious award ceremonies, and earn much more income than before. Many people think that the change will definitely affect the way they live. But interestingly, according to Jimin, Jungkook still maintains his principles. He never seemed to be obsessed with luxury. Even when he had the opportunity to buy whatever he wanted, Jungkook still chose very carefully. Jimin once said that it often makes the members laugh, because Jungkook can spend a long time just to think about one small decision about money. But behind that joke, the members actually realized something deeper. They saw that Jungkook's attitude reflected an extraordinary maturity. He understands that success does not always last forever, and therefore every decision must be carefully thought out. Fans also began to associate this habit with Jungkook's nature, who really cares about his family. Many stories are circulating that since the beginning of his career, Jungkook has always had a strong desire to help his family live better. He never forgets where he came from, and that makes him always careful in managing what he has. For Jungkook, money is not just a status symbol. He sees it as a tool to provide security for the people he loves. This kind of thinking is what, according to many fans, makes him different from most other young stars. When the story about Jungkook's financial habits was getting more talked about, armies around the world began to express their admiration. Many say that behind the image of golden magne, which is often associated with extraordinary talent, there is actually another side of Jungkook that is much more inspiring: discipline and responsibility. Even some fans said that the biggest lesson from this story is not only about how Jungkook manages money, but about how he manages his life. He understands that popularity can come and go, but a person's character will always last. For Jimin himself, revealing this story seems to be not just sharing experiences. There is a sense of pride implied in his words. He sees Jungkook not only as the youngest member in the group, but as someone who has grown into a very strong person. The relationship between them also makes this story feel more emotional. Over the years, Jimin is often considered as a figure who always takes care of Jungkook, like his own brother. But now, it is Jungkook who often shows maturity that impresses everyone.